Hello, welcome to the Forestry Tina migration video. I'm going to take this Hugo demo site, which I'll show you here, and migrate it to Tina using Tina's CLI tool. I already have it deployed to Netlify, but we're going to have to make a minor adjustment later to get Tina working. Alright, let's jump back to code here, and in the CLI we're going to use TinaCMS's CLI tool, which is npx at TinaCMS/CLI at latest init. And so this command is going to step us through what we need to do to have this project work with Tina. So step one, it's going to direct us to go to tina.io and set a new project up for the client ID. So if you don't already have a tina.io account, you're going to have to set up a new account. But for those that have one, it'll jump to the new project page if you use that link, and you have to auth with GitHub, select the repo that you'd like to edit, and set up a site URL. I'm just going to use a wildcard for this since I don't know the deployment URL. And once we're in the dashboard, the first thing you'll see is the client ID, so that's what we need. If you click on that, it'll copy. We can go back to the CLI and paste that. The next thing it's asking for is a token, so we're going to jump back to the dashboard, go to the tokens page, and create a new one. Again, we'll just use a wildcard, but you do have an opportunity to lock things down. Jumping back to the CLI, we'll paste that. Now we can select a package manager, we'll pick Yarn, select a framework, which is Hugo for this demo, and select yes for TypeScript. Next it'll ask if we'd like to migrate our Forestry templates. If we agree to this, it'll also make some content tweaks where things don't quite align with the way Tina works. While this is happening, let's open up our package.json file. We're going to have to set up a new dev and build script. For dev, we're going to run TinaCMS dev with its own console command, which will run the Hugo server in dev mode. Our build command is TinaCMS build and Hugo. Perfect. Now we're going to run our development environment just to show you what the editing looks like locally. You're going to have to go to /admin, which will bring you to the TinaCMS. I'm going to open up that project we were just looking at and make a small change just to show you how local edits will commit to the file system. You can see how that's pretty instantaneous. And if we jump back to VS Code, you can open up the content file and see it's been changed. But you see that change is not committed. So in local mode, it changes the file directly, and it's up to you to commit that to GitHub. So we're going to revert our change, but we're going to create a new branch and add all our Tina changes. Once that's published to GitHub, we can jump over there and create a PR for our new branch. Now you'll see Netlify will pop in a little comment here, and we can wait for it to show us a preview link, but first I'm going to jump over to my Netlify settings. So I've already made this tweak, but if you go into build and deploy for your Hugo site, the build command will typically be Hugo. So for Tina, we wanted to run our build command, which we wrote in our package.json file. And I'll jump back over to the PR where you can see that we have a deployment preview. we're going to log in through Tina Cloud, and now we're on our deployment and in edit mode. And so we can edit that same project that we were looking at earlier. Just have to get the Netlify UI out of the way there. You can see if we make a quick edit, when we save, it's actually committing to GitHub. So if we jump back to our PR, we'll see an additional commit here with our Tina commit. Now, in production, Netlify has to run a build in order for us to see our changes, but that still happens pretty quickly, as you can see here. One thing to note is that in the Tina config file, the CLI sets up our client ID and token, but we recommend using environment variables. So you could set that up and have them set up in Netlify as well. It just requires a little bit more configuration. And that's all there is to it.